Hey guys! So today I'm going to be reviewing The Jellybean Crisis by Jolene Stockman. So I was given this book as a BA reader. So I really liked this book. It was very different from a lot of the other books I read. There was no paranormal in it, and there wasn't a lot of romance. But it was a lot about self-discovery. So basically there's this girl, and she knows what she wants to be in life. She has a blueprint, as she calls it. And she's going to finish high school and get a specific award and go to a specific university and do this whole thing. She's got a life planned out. And then she's sitting in class one day. She hears this girl going, basically, and I want this and I want that and I'm going to live here in this amazing house and whatever else. Basically, I'll get anything I want. And then this girl, Poppy, she's like, is this really what I want? Am I going to be happy doing this? She gets that award and she's supposed to accept it, and she's like, maybe I don't really want it. So she decides she wants to take a gap year, but she's still in school. So instead she takes a gap month, which means for a month she does basically what I call work experience, which means working in different situations to try and see what kind of career she'd want. Basically it was her search for happiness. And I found it really interesting that someone other than me would want happiness. It was a great, really good book. Now, why is it called The Jellybean Crisis? So basically, Poppy has what I call delayed gratification, which means she saves the best for last. I have delayed gratification. When I eat, I save my favorite food for last. When she was 10 or something, her uncle got her a big bag of jelly beans for her birthday. And she ate all the red ones first, which were her favorite ones. And then she was only left with like the bad ones in the end, and she was like, well, maybe I should eat the bad ones first and then I'll save the best for last. And that was basically her philosophy for life. Now personally, I'd never thought of using my delayed gratification in terms of life. My view of life is almost like what comes, what happens. But it's really interesting for me to see that point of view, and it made me start thinking, well, what if I'm doing this wrong kind of thing? But then I thought about it, and I don't really think there is a wrong or right. I don't know, you guys tell me what your life's like, what you like about it, which way you think. But I guess we all have different philosophies. There was a little bit of romance in this book. Not too much, and it definitely wasn't the focus, but there was a guy who was kind of cute, who appeared quite a bit, and it kind of kept the story moving a bit. I would almost think of this book as a journey. It was almost a pursuit of happiness, if you will. She wanted to find out what was going to make her happy. I've always thought that. I mean, I saw an article in a magazine which was called The Pursuit of Happiness. It basically was saying that 90% of Americans are looking for happiness, and that many of them are actually unhappy because they don't find it. One of the quotes that I live by, it says, happiness is a way of travel, not a destination. And that's by Roy Goodman, for any of you who want to know. Basically what that's saying for me is that I can't try and find happiness. I can't go out and be like, I want to be happy. Therefore, I'm going to look for a job that will make me happy, a person that will make me happy, a career that will make me happy. I have to take that journey and I have to set goals. So my goal may be that I want to work as a dentist, for example. And then along the way, I will find happiness. But that I can't search for happiness. I can't go out and be like, I want to be happy, because that'll get me nowhere. And it's an important philosophy. I mean, I spent a lot of time looking for happiness. I spent a lot of time trying to find what would make me happy. I put so much into being happy that I didn't realize that I was happy. It took me stepping back from trying to find that ultimate happiness, to look at what I have. It takes every single day looking at your life and going, this is what I have. If every day of my life I went and thought that I wasn't the most famous person in the world, that I wasn't brilliant, that I wasn't getting the best marks or whatever, then I would get nowhere in life. I would get nowhere, I would just be miserable. Every day I have to think, this is what I have. I have to be thankful that I can get up in the morning. I have to be thankful that I'm getting a good education. I have to be thankful that I'm able to read all these amazing books. I have to be thankful that I get food on my table and a bed to sleep in, because plenty of people don't. And I know that's hard, especially for us as teenagers. When we feel like people have more than us. but they feel like somebody else is more than them, and you're never going to be the top. You're never going to be the top of the food chain. There's always going to be something you want. The important thing about life is being happy with what you have. And I think that's what Poppy taught me. She taught me a lot about being content almost. And contentment can lead to happiness. Poppy went on her journey. And she learned that every job is good for something. That for everybody, they'll get something out of a specific thing. I might not get something out of programming a computer, but somebody else does. Someone else might not get joy out of reading books, but I do. And that you can't diss a job, or a person, or a hobby because you don't like it, because plenty of people do. We're not all the same. We're individuals. But as a collective, we're amazing. Jolene incorporates a lot of great ideas, some of which I've mentioned, but there are more. It's one of those almost self-help books. Not the kind that's like, oh, you need to diet more, you need to exercise, and I don't know, because I don't put anything into those books. I don't want someone telling me how to run my life. I want to learn from someone else. I learned from Poppy. I learned that happiness is not a destination. It's a way of travel. And I learned that you can find fulfillment everywhere you go if you're just looking for it. I wasn't looking for it, but I found it somewhere along the way. I mean, Poppy doesn't know what she wants to do. She thought she did, but she doesn't. And in that book, there are so many inspiring characters. There are characters who've known what they want to do since the beginning of their life. And I find that inspiring because I don't know what I want to do. There is someone who didn't know what they want to do and finally found what they wanted to do at like 70 years old. I found that inspiring because I figured that if I don't do it now, it means I still have more chances. And there's Poppy who's deciding as she goes. This book is amazing. It's not the best written book I've ever read, but it's not bad. There's so much you can get out of it if you just look. But you have to go into this book with an open mind. If you go into this book going, oh yeah, it's just going to be about another girl falling in love, or not sure what she wants to do with your life, and you won't get anything out of this book. If you go in there going, what can I learn from this character? What can this character's journey teach me? Because every single character can teach you something. If you go in there like that, then you'll learn so much. That's the attitude that you need to have to get the best out of life. Not just towards reading, you need to go into a situation and be like, what can I learn from these people? Because although I'm a great person and I know a lot, I don't know everything. And they've had experiences that I haven't had. Learn from other people's mistakes. My friend told me this. She said to me, Chloe, I want you to learn from my mistakes. I don't want you to do what I did because I don't want you to get hurt the way that I did. So I want you to learn from my mistakes. And I didn't get it. At that point, I didn't get it. I was like, why would I want to learn from your mistakes? I didn't do them. I want to learn from my own mistakes. I want to have these experiences so that I can learn from them. But she made an excellent point. If you can learn from everybody around you, from what they did wrong, then you can become a better person. You don't just learn from your own mistakes. You learn from looking at the world around you. I am who I am because of what I see. I look at everything around me. To be honest, I overthink things a lot. I overthink every little minute detail. I turn it over in my head. But then, you know what I do? I make that little minute detail into part of my story. And then by writing that character as having done that activity, I learn from that. I hope I don't make the same mistake she did. Because she's learned from my mistakes. Why can't I learn from hers? Took me a while to get to that conclusion, but I'm so happy she told me. This has strayed kind of far from the book. Jolene Stockman has another one called Total Blueprint for World Domination or something like that. I haven't read it yet. Basically, it's the non-fiction version of the Jellybean Crisis. Post a little comment to say you've seen this because I'm not sure if anybody watches these anymore. Alright, bye, thanks for watching.